Hello and welcome. Good morning, RIMWORLD. Alrighty, everybody. As you can see there, I now have a little window for you to see the news while I'm talking about it. As like I said, trying to improve every day. Uh, we have one good news. It was a little bit harder to find. That's why we're a little bit behind today, which is a sad thing to say, but uh, so apparently Laura Trump did this. I don't know how yet. Like, but it's a puppy. It's a puppy. Puppies are worth saving. Man, yeah. There's bad things happening in uh England. So yeah, I'll get on to why I actually chose that one because there's something about it that seems quite strange to me. Um, the guy who shot the MAGA hat guy is no more. We'll go over that in greater detail. Uh, apparently, the oh man, why does it keep doing that? Go away. Apparently, Pelosi's little stunt with the salon is going over well, which I think is ridiculous. Uh, we have lost another officer in Cleveland this time. And strangely enough, the governor, Kate Brown of Oregon, until Portland gets its crap together, we're probably going to feature a Oregon thing every week because they are just in the news for reasons. Because there's dumb people in charge over there. But yeah, she calls out white supremacists over the murder of a right winger by Antifa. I don't under. I think the woman is clinically insane or something. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But before we get to that, we will go over what's remaining in our base this morning. We had our little raid, our singular raid. I think we got most everything else built. There's nothing sitting around unbuilt. Uh, the plans for the fridge move forward. I'll have to do some rearranging. We will mind that. And we will create a door right here that goes right into this. I'll turn that into my fridge. Yeah. Got the power up. I'm about 3/4 of the way done with the battery research. Food's coming along nicely. Oh, that's the thing that hasn't been finished. Some graves. Alright. We'll let them have their way. Hey, you. Prioritize hauling that LMG, please. But get that going faster. But yeah. So I know that there's a big box right here, but I'm going to try and keep everything over here on the right-hand side. So as best I can. That's for the news segment. And I'll be going. You'll see me switch back and forth just for because I don't like to get too many details wrong. I try to remember everything I read this in the morning, but we'll see. But so let's start with the. I believe you have the Portland protest open right now. Yeah, we'll just yeah leave it on the main one there. Shot and killed during a clash between racial injustice protester and Trump supporter. as they drove a caravan through downtown. They made it seem like the caravan was a... That's not what happened. The dude was on the street, and he just got shot upside the head. The guy walked up to him and shot him upside the head. It was disturbing and ridiculous. Person of interest in the face. Person of interest. How about the person who shot him? Yeah, that's ridiculous. But yeah. But he is gone now, so those two things kind of correlate with each other, so we'll talk about both of them at the same time. So the man who shot him apparently fled to a different state. He fled up into Washington in hopes to not be captured. I mean, that was his hope and his prayer, I guess. What did they do with that other body? Anyway. Or did the dude survive and walk off? That's crazy. He must have. He must have got up and walked off. Huh. Crazy. Not that it doesn't happen. It's happened before. Oh, he tried to. Oh, hold on. Well, at least he'll get some shooting practice in. Hold on. I just want to make sure something. This dude is in no immediate danger of dying. Go punch him to death then. Thank you. Go away. You are useless. But yeah, so the individual in question who got shot apparently had a firearm, which was probably pretty well expected because he already shot somebody, and that's why they were issued an arrest warrant for murder. He, proceeded to point the gun at the U.S. Marshals. This wasn't, police from Portland or anything like that. This was, they were police from the U.S. Marshals because he had crossed state lines. I would say they should also charge him with evading police, but it's a little late for that. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so he is gone. It is a loss. So I know I don't seem so broken up about it. He did a terrible thing for a ridiculous reason, and he shouldn't have. But in the grand scheme of things, out of the two people who died, the man who died by getting shot just for having a political opinion deserves far more sympathy than the man who shot him. That does not mean that, in all honesty, the tragedy that is that kid's loss. I mean, you never know. That kid could have, if his parents had done their job correctly, or if he had not met the wrong person, or if whatever led him down the path to those decisions didn't happen, he could have been, who knows, a doctor, whatever it might have been. You know, he could have cured something. He could have saved somebody's life instead of gotten rid of one. You know, instead of taking somebody's life, he could have been a social worker and helped repair the rift. You know, whatever it might have been. All right. Now we're going to move on to geothermal, so I don't have to deal with power anymore. But yeah, I feel bad for the kid's parents. I feel really bad for the person he shot. I can't help it. It's, you know, the person who got shot didn't deserve that any more than the kid deserved to make those decisions. I don't get it. And this is coming from somebody who has taken life in the past. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to. But it doesn't, even when you have to, because you don't have another choice. Take the perspective from the cops. It's not okay. You don't want to do it. It is innately against your human nature, unless you have a mental issue. In that case, if it seems like an okay thing for you, go ahead and seek medical help immediately. You know, it's not something we do innately. It's not something we want to do. It shouldn't be, anyways. All these protesters and rioters. So there's this strange phenomenon where when people get into riots, they lose morality in the sense that they no longer feel that they can be directly focused on. So therefore, it gives them this innate freedom that they feel like they have, that they're not going to be. There's no repercussions for their actions, and maybe 100 or 50, probably even 30, 20, 30 years ago, that would have been probably true. But as we can see now, there's cameras everywhere, and I'm not referring to the ones attached to telephone poles or positioned by, government agencies. I'm talking about people with cell phones. If there's a person in the crowd who doesn't agree with the fact that you just shot somebody and they have a cell phone and they've been recording all night long, at some point they're going to turn that in because they feel guilty for not having done it to begin with. But and as they should, there should be no clemency, no in no way, shape, or form should you have oh nope, not gonna be able to say that word today. Oop, bye bye wordy. You go on now. We will find a different word, or at least you know what I'm looking for as far as words. There should be no free pass. We'll use a different phrase entirely because I'm not going to be able to say that word this morning. How irritating. And that's the correct thing to have happened. The person who turned in the video of him shooting the gentleman in the quote-unquote in the MAGA hat, that was the right thing to do. There was no reason to begin with that man should have died for simply wearing a hat. Your political views are your own, and nobody has the right to, in any way, shape, or form, remove your ability to have that particular opinion. That's lined out in the Constitution, people, and there's a reason for it. All right, so that's the stories. I wanted to get a little more specifically into the Portland thing. So the governor there, who is um, is insane. That is the only way to put that where that makes sense. That woman is utterly and completely insane. Hold on. Yeah, she wow. She's special, that one. Anybody gonna wake up by any chance? No? Okay. Get up. Yeah. Let's put out the fire before it burns down the home, people. Jesus. Oh, good. I didn't even see that fire. Well, the Tau do not seem to have the ability to build things. Oh, sorry, that was spaceship chunks. I thought I had an electrical blowout. Anyway, there's another fire. Go put out the fire, people. Jesus. Anyway. So she's sitting here like ranting and raving about uh white supremacist activists doing all these terrible. They need to stop the violence. There's no right-wing human beings in Portland, Oregon anymore. They all left for fear of getting shot. You no longer have a cultural diversity in your city anymore. You have Antifa burning down Antifa things for all they care. You need to pull your head out of your ass, protect the humans who live in your state. And no, I didn't use humans as the wrong term. I literally mean Antifa is not there, not human. I have no sympathy for any Antifa member other than the sympathy headed towards their family. I have more sympathy for the dumbass who shot the other guy because he was literally just a stupid human being than for those who join a group willingly, knowing full well what they mean. They constantly preach about how they're going to do terrible things. Oh, yeah. Antifa can go to hell. Yeah, that is one group of individuals that does not need to be in the United States anymore. They need to hurry up and call them what they are, which is a terrorist group, because they are nothing but that. I know. I'm not supposed to talk about Antifa. But for the love of all that is holy, that is an irritating thing. All right, enough about irritating news. Yeah, so we can get rid of that one, and we can get rid of that one. All right. Okay, on to this. So Zahid Johannes, wonder where he's from, will spend at least 38 years behind bars. Okay, for the slaying of 32-year-old blah blah Hernet Shukez. Anyway, names and I'm sorry, but that's Mufasta. I can't call it anything else anymore. I know that's terrible. She deserves more respect than that, but her name looks like Mufasa. Sorry. Um, but the fact that for killing two individuals, this man only got 32 or 38 years behind bars. No, you chop people up and put them into your freezer? No, you die. You get to go to the Zap Zap chair because you don't need to be in this world anymore because you're insane. Damn it. The Tau need to finish building things. Stop cutting plants. No. Didn't say you could stop. Apparently I have to babysit you. Prepare a defensive or attack. What is this? They're going to prepare a little while and then attack. I want to make sure that they put a roof on this. But watch these. Oh, hold on. I need to remove food from this. So my food stopped rotting away. But yeah, we in no way, shape, or form should anybody who chops someone up and puts in their freezer be giving a reprieve for any extended period of time. Haha, they got blowed up. They are beginning their assault. No, not my doggo. Maybe the doggo can be saved though. Hold on. Animals. Home area. Now. walk up here and strip him. Is he dead? No, no, he is not. He is. Strip him. Alrighty. Good, good. More stuff to wear. Yeah, so that dude needs to be either locked up forever in a small room, in a food tray slid to him every once in a while. And that is where he should stay. Because if you chop people up and put them into your freezer, you are insane. And nothing else matters in that particular situation. You need to just not be around human beings ever again, because apparently you think chopping them up and putting them into a freezer is okay. But alright, so enough about the weird side of the news today. Let's talk about this stupidity. Nancy Pelosi, she so she comes out yesterday after her videotape of her not, you know, after she did not abide by her own rules, because she is not a, but let's all be aware that she does not have the ability to make her own decisions. She in no way, shape, or form can think for herself. And she put all these rules into place, but she had no idea that it wasn't okay for her to go to the salon. You know, it doesn't matter that she made the rules. She was set up. She was what? Apparently she was set up. And a whole bunch of constituents of California bought this hook, line, and sinker. They said, oh, okay. What are you doing? Why do you run past the person who needs rescued? You monkey nuts. Anyway. But yeah, so they just accept it as a thing that exists in this world. Like, yes, she was set up. That is a truly terrible thing for that person to do to her. What? Like, it honestly feels like nobody, like, I don't like, I feel bad for Californians in general, because I think they've been led horribly astray, or, at this point, I mean, can you really, like, say it's not their own fault? I'm not quite sure anymore, if we're going to be completely honest, because it's to the point where it's actually scary that they buy this kind of stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me as a human being. Like, I I guess I assume everybody else has thought processes that they go through on a daily basis. Like when someone says, "Oh yeah, I went to the salon, but it was a setup." They don't just cock their head to the side like somebody saying the wrong name to a dog that they thought was theirs that they picked up off the side of the road. And the dog looks at them crossways, not understanding a word they're saying. Where are you going? What are you doing? But yeah, no, no sense made on that department. No, she was not set up. If anybody was wondering, no, Nancy Pelosi was not set up. She is a terrible human being and always has been. She, yeah. Yeah, there is absolutely no reason why anyone should think that she was set up. Right. Yeah, yeah. So, but the thing is, the worst part is this one, Nancy Pelosi goes out of her way to claim these things about this poor woman. And now the woman's like getting death threats. Death threats, people, for someone doing what is the right thing to do. You know, she hasn't done anything wrong. And no, she didn't set her up. You can't set somebody up who's doing something they want to do. Ugh. Stupid. I just don't I don't get it. I don't understand people at all. You know? It it boggles my mind. But yeah, so Nancy Pelosi says, I was set up. I mean, I know I did wrong, but I was set up. Now, I give Nancy Pelosi that accent because the only way that makes logical sense is if she is a yokel and she is basically mentally handicapped. It's the only way that makes sense. Yeah, so, but no, I'm sorry. She was not set up. She went to go get her hair a blowout. Basically, a giant, like, these things have been under a lot of scrutiny for being just bacterial incubators. That people getting sick from going to salons because they weren't properly maintained. Because they do nothing but blow steaming hot air you know, into the world. That's just what they do. You know, they blow in vortex style winds. They medical emergency. What, is he gonna die on me? Who is my medical? Who's assigned to doctoring then? What is your doctoring? 4, 7, 12. Okay. So you... Oh, hold on. Get your whiny ass up and do not let him die. I don't care about a minor break risk. Infection tended. Good. Glad to hear it. Well, if he dies, he dies. But, yeah. So, if you are a human, or a human out there who thinks it's okay to harass a salon owner who's already probably been having a hard time of it, if we're being completely honest. Because as a general rule, give me the plasteel. That turned out to be a terrible thing last time. So, but yeah, just don't harass the poor woman. She doesn't deserve it. Not even close. All right. So, well, that's my 2 cents on that pile of stupidity. We are almost out of time, folks. So yeah. All right. We will leave this on the good note. So we have a manhunt is underway in Cleveland early Friday after a veteran police officer was fatally shot Thursday night, according to reports. Killed in the shooting was Officer James. Man, what's with the names today? He was 54 years old. I'm not going to try because I'm going to slaughter that name. Who had been with the department since 1998, sources told Cleveland.com. It's the Cleveland show. Sorry. Cleveland lost one of its finest in the line of duty today. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that the reason I chose this. It wasn't okay. Now my thing's doing weird things. So it wasn't that he was shot arresting somebody or doing something like that. This particular line right here is the part that disturbs me. Disturbs me the most. Beyond the fact that we lost a cop, which should not happen. But the police officer had been riding in a patrol car that was fired upon several times, with the car crashing, sources told the state. Okay, so that means he was sitting in his patrol car, driving along, and then somebody started firing into it. No, he wasn't arresting anybody. Nobody was being uh, racially profiled or anything such nature. He was literally driving along, patrolling, doing what he was supposed to do. And then he got shot several times into the. A second person died in the incident, but details on that death are not immediately clear. That's good. I like that they don't say anything about that until they make sure that the family has been notified, and that is fine. Oh my goodness. Sure, if you think that's what's going on here. How is this a Joe Biden thing? Anyway, those things always anger me. I try not to read them, but sometimes I can't help it. Uh, yeah. So this should never have happened. The yeah. It, the this one angers me more than it probably should, but yeah. Uh, the dude was literally just doing his job in the most basis of sense. He wasn't even being all that productive. He was just sitting in his car driving along. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. Don't misunderstand me. But in my, he in no way, shape, or form was doing anything other than what he was supposed to do. What, like, where's the disconnect in these people's brains that they can't not be shit weasels? You know, it it's sorry. Yeah, you need to that stuff needs to knock off like yesterday. That is so not okay. But not saying shooting anybody is okay. Don't get me wrong. But there's a difference between a self-defense situation or a situation in which could be construed incorrectly, or a slew of other circumstances in which this kind of thing could happen. Walking up, or I mean, they said a manhunt. That means, and I haven't seen any videos yet. There may be some out there I am unaware of the shooting. But yeah, but as far as I know, they'd have no idea who even did it. So yeah, if you know anything about this, if you're out there and you know anything about this, please report them immediately. That person. What do you mean extreme break risk? Break risk. Why is there a dead corpse in my house? For the love of all that is holy, what is going on? This, is he brain damaged now? Is that something that happened? He's burned. He has a burn. Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, that cannot continue to happen as a people. We need to stop that immediately. And last but not least, the Laura Trump saves the puppy. This part, the Laura Trump part, not really worried about it. The fact this right here is the part that makes me happy. So, all right, I'm going to read this one. Harley is saved. Okay. You name the dog whatever you want. That is a very cool looking dog, though. I will say that. He's such a cute puppy. He's going to be a big dog. On the brink of being shipped back to the Middle East. I don't know why, though. Why would you ship the dog back? Puppy rescued from the battleground of Syria will now stay in the United States and be reunited with the Air Force combat veteran who rescued her. Laura Trump personally interceded on Harley's behalf to help iron out the paperwork snafu that was keeping the dog in limbo at the JFK airport. Raised from a puppy while developed early in Syria. I suppose on the morning. But the awesome thing is that Harley, and they don't state the individual's name. Paws of War. All right. Co-founder of Paws of War, the group that brought Harley back to the United States, also credited the Post and Laura Trump. Like, I get it. It's supposed to be more or less a fluff piece about Laura Trump. But the important part about this, the part you should take away. Oh, look how cute! It's a cute little puppy. The mutt had been fully vaccinated by the Jordan vet prior to Paws of War shipping her to JFK on August 24th, but the paperwork indicating that was missing. So they didn't have the shot records. Okay. But Harley would likely have been euthanized if shipped back to Jordan this week as planned. Woo. Good Lord. Yeah. So the happy news is the puppy got saved. But he is a cute little puppy. And I hope he becomes a good dog for the veteran there. I guess, in a way, good job, Laura Trump, for jumping in there. I don't really think that the pause of war would have allowed the euthanization or the shipping back to proceed. But in the end, I'm glad somebody interceded upon the on behalf of the dog and the veteran. But that's about it for my time today, folks. Not a whole lot happened. We had a little raid. It was fun. Again, sorry about being a little late today. There was just a lot of news I had to sift through. I don't like doing certain parts of the news. Basically the standard pro-Trump, or anti-Biden, or anti-Trump, pro-Biden nonsense. I try my best to stay away from it, but it is kind of hard to find other significant stories without including that. Now, that doesn't mean I'll never do stuff like that. I think yesterday I did the whole calls for the double vote, and I chose that not for the political side, but more or less for the voting side, because I think that was the more important point of that. But thank you all so much, and we will see you all next week, Monday morning, bright and early. So, thank you all so much. If anything, I will say this: if anything major pops up over the weekend that I find out about, I will do short videos during the weekend to make sure keep everybody informed. Thank you all so much. We have a special guest tonight. Little V should be on Don't Starve. It should be a joint adventure, unless something else comes up for him again, which is, life happens. But we will be streaming Don't Starve tonight regardless. All right, guys. Thank you very much. See you all later.